Aloha once again. Welcome back to the 7th Direction. My name is still David, and we are still focused on going in your 7th direction, my 7th direction, the 7th direction of the universe, the physical universe in which we live. What does that mean? It means into you. Where does it come from? It comes from Native American philosophy, spirituality, shamanism, in general, the idea that the 6 directions are north, south, east, west, up and down, and that leaves one last direction, the 7th direction, and that direction is into you. That's what we were focused on during the course of these videos, and so far we've talked about how it's good to dive into the idea with some passion. It's good to support that with some logical reasoning from science so that your ego gets satisfied that you're not wasting your time. Heaven forbid you should ever waste your time doing anything. We discussed the practice of meditation and how you put a little white light in your spot right there between your eyebrows, shut your eyes for 15 minutes, and you just kind of dwell there on a daily basis, and you let things sort of evolve from there. And they certainly will evolve from there. It's very important that you not underestimate what you're doing and how important it is and how valuable it is for you, and how it is not selfish to take this time and spend this time with you. It's one of the most important things that you can do. The better that you are, the better a contribution you will be able to make to life in general, the better a contribution you'll be able to make to your friends, your family, your parents, your children, brothers and sisters, whoever it might be in life that you care about. It's important that you be able to be comfortable with the idea that you can take care of yourself first so that you can then better take care of others. It really is an emotional issue, often with women more than men, since men tend to just do what they want anyway, not pay attention, but women especially can have a hard time feeling as if they need to make choices that honor them first. Listen, it's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's fantastically important that you take care of yourself. When you do take this time to focus on you, what you are doing is you are poking around in something that in the world of mysticism has been called the veil. Now, it's called the veil because you get glimpses of truth. This may happen to you during meditation, where you'll see something and you're not sure what it is, and maybe in your life you've had intuition, or you've seen a ghost, or maybe an alien spaceship, or something that is outside of what science would be able to explain to you is a part of your normal everyday existence. Remember that science itself is always growing and changing and evolving, and the whole idea of quantum entanglement that we discussed in the last video is what Albert Einstein called, literally, spooky action at a distance. Albert Einstein, possibly the greatest intellectual mind that we've ever had on this planet, the man who is unquestionably responsible for the greatest leap forward in hard science that we've had in centuries, called quantum entanglement spooky. So you have to understand that what you're playing around with is important, and it's a little mysterious. That's why there are schools of mysticism that want you to be studying the mystery school, because these things are mysterious, I suggest that you study the clarity school, because clarity is better than a mystery. And if you're going to be poking around in something and you don't know what it is, let's not have it remain a mystery. Let's get some clarity on it. That's just my opinion. But in any case, as you're poking around in your own veil and you're getting little glimpses of things, there's a concept that you need to make sure that you lock onto and just hold tight to it. And this is the idea that proof is only proof to you, and that's all that matters. Whether you're having a discussion about angels, or whether Michael Jordan is the best basketball player of all time, or whatever the subject might be, that guns are good or bad, proof is only proof to you specifically, and two people can see the same thing and come to completely different conclusions. So I'm going to date myself a little bit now as I talk about something that I still remember from 20 years ago, but it's the best example that I can think of for this idea that proof is only proof to you. I remember it was not a really good period in my life. It was a period of time when I was actually cutting grass to eat. And I was living in a town called Klamath Falls, Oregon, which is a little tiny town. And I was working alongside an evangelical Christian. This young man was a Baptist. And we were sitting together watching after a day of work, being outside, he'd invited me to come in and have a drink and bite to eat with his family. And we were sitting and we were watching the 1996 Republican National Convention. And there was a speaker there named Bob Dole. Now, again, I'm dating myself, and just to provide some context, Bob Dole was a 30-year senator, and at that time the Republicans were big on just nominating whoever the next guy was, and so it was obvious that Bob Dole was the next guy in line, and he was the one who was going to be the nominee. And he gave a speech that talked about whatever, values, I guess we could say. And I'm sort of sitting there with my, like this, watching it or whatever, and he finishes speaking, and I turned to my friend, the Baptist, and I said, "So, what do you think of old Bob there?" And this gentleman turns toward me with tears streaming down his face, and he says, "Powerful stuff." Now again, this is a 30-year senator. He never said anything dramatic, interesting. Everything he said was political speak. And so to my ears, it was wah, 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 wah. Like on the Charlie Brown animated series, an adult, the voice of the adult is always wah, 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 wah. So that's what I'm hearing as Bob Dole is speaking. And yet at the same time, a person sitting right next to me who has a different point of view processes this information completely differently. So this is one of the most important things that you can realize. Your point of view is actually determining how you are processing information. This is an incredibly important concept we're going to touch on over and over and over again, because if the universe is actually light, then what's going on and what are you? And the answer is your consciousness. You are conscious light. And so if that's true and your whole life is determined by consciousness, then your point of view is actually this fundamental thing that you are intimately tied to. Every part of your experience is reflected through your point of view, and it's the most important thing in life that you could ever possibly change. Because changing your point of view is what changes the way you process information. As a part of all of that, you have to realize what you take as important and how you see it is only up to you. You define what you see as being important or not important. You define how you take that and the implications of that. For example, ghosts seem to be a fairly commonly accepted concept. From my perspective, if I perceive that I'm an immortal being, a soul, then anybody who believes in ghosts, it's obvious, so are you. You are also a ghost. Everybody is a ghost. Everybody is a soul. We could all realize, just because ghosts exist, we could all immediately process that, okay, we're immortal souls, so something else is going on here. We know we don't take our money with us. We know we don't take our body with us. What do we take with us? What is a soul? In effect, as we go in our seventh direction, that could be what we're talking about. But from a simple human perspective, people could understand that about themselves if they accept it about others. So they don't. You look around the planet, you don't see enlightenment everywhere. You don't see everybody running around acting as if they are immortal souls with long lifetimes and so on and so forth. They all act as if they are humans in bodies with short lifetimes. All of their decisions are defined by that. It's all defined by short-term desire, short-term need, short-term satisfaction. So just remember, as you are going through your meditation experiences, and you are touching on the truth of you, and you are touching on what is really inside of you, remember that proof of what you are and what you see is only proof to you, and that's all that matters. You are the one who needs to see you more clearly. And however you get there, that's how you want to get there. Keep going today. We'll talk again soon. Send questions. Aloha.